Jonathan Becker here from Pro Tour Honolulu 2006 with your Day 3 wrap-up. Man, it was an exciting finals today. 410 people cut down to 8. We had a good mix of decks in the top 8. There were a couple of Owling Mine decks, a couple of Zoo decks, a couple of black-white mid-range decks, and a combo deck. So there was something for everybody in the top 8. We saw both Royal brothers in the top 8, although Antoine had basically an impossible matchup against Craig Jones, which lasted maybe 15 minutes. Craig just running him over with his little tiny men. Antoine even tried pulling out an ancestral recall for humor in the last game, and that one made it close. But in the end, Craig managed to knock off Antoine. Now, Craig found himself faced with Olivier Rowe in the semifinals, looking to avenge his brother, and Olivier had battled back from a 1-2 deficit versus Maximilian Brock, when it looked like he was totally dead at least twice to take that match. Ollie was again poised, down 1-2. He came back. He won the fourth game. It looked like he was going to lose. Looked like he was on the ropes in the fifth game. Somehow managed to claw back, and looked like he managed to get lethal damage on the board with Craig. Craig had pulled a char with Olivier at 7 and himself at 3. Cast a char, and then he's at 1. Olivier's at 3, and Craig pulled off one of the greatest top decks in Pro Tour top 8 history, ripping a lightning helix off the top to move on to the finals. You could hear the roar all the way back into the players area. Just went on for almost a minute. Everybody went crazy, and he pulled himself into the finals to face off against Mark Herbeholtz. Now, Herbeholtz had beaten Osa Boritz in a surprisingly rapid fashion in the first round, and then moved on to face Tiago Chan, another Owling Mine deck versus a Zoo deck, and you can guess what happened there. The Zoo deck ran all over the Owling Mine deck, as it's like to do, and he moved on to the finals in a pretty quick 4 games, despite the fact that he had a couple of mulligans mixed in there. So in the finals, there's going to be small animals facing off. Mark Herbeholtz versus Craig Jones. These games went by at blistering speed. I think that the first 4 games took less than any one of Ruel Brock's games took in the earlier rounds. He thought he was going to have the advantage going in because of the mana base in Craig's deck, and it seemed like he was right. Craig took a bunch of mulligans, one game going to 3, one game going to 5, and it pulled into a 2-2 tie. So it was going to come down to the 5th game. And did I say small animals were going to fight before? Because in the 5th game, Mark Herbeholtz made an 8-9 Kurt Ape and an 8-8 Rumbling Slum and hauled those across the table to try to end the game with ginormous animals. So he put so much pressure on Craig that all Craig could do was set up his board to hope for another miracle peel. If he would have pulled the Bathing Light, he could have pulled it off. So he reached for the deck, and unfortunately it seems like he used up all his good karma getting to the finals, rolling a land, and Mark Herbeholtz claimed the Pro Tour Honolulu 2006 championship and a $40,000 check. It's been a great week of Magic in Honolulu here. We have fantastic deck diversity, a high-powered top 8, one of the best top decks we've ever seen in Pro Tour top 8 play, and Mark Herbeholtz claim his $40,000 check and the Pro Tour championship. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to keep tuning to MagicTheGathering.com for all the online coverage of these events. And we'll see you at Prague in May of this year. This is Jonathan Becker signing off for MagicTheGathering.com.